mommy, community in action. What on my little sound that? Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. What on my little sound that? Creative, affirming, and culture for me too. Look, granny, a little sound that. Look, granny, a little sound that. Look, granny, a little sound that. Learning, exploring about history, you see. Look, mommy, a little sound that. We confident, we practicing the code of fluency. Look, daddy, a little sound that. Families, they bonding, they representing me. Look, granny, a little sound that. Look, auntie, a little sound that. Nice, I see a little sound that.
So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have a sit.
Look, mommy, community in action. Well, on my little sound of that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, on my little sound of that. Creative, affirming, culture for me too. Look, granny, a little sound of that.
Greetings, Virtual Village family. How are you all doing this evening? I hope you all are doing well. It is Monday, and I feel like I have not seen you all in a long time. Those little days go by. Let's see. We have Miss Keisha here, and she is saying good evening from Keisha. So glad to see you, sis. You are standing in for our beloved Shania, right? We are so proud of her, Virtual Village family. If you don't know her yet, if you are new to the village, you are going to find out exactly who Shania is in a few minutes. And you're going to learn more about her as we finish out this year. We have some phenomenal youth who are a part of this village and their parents and this whole team community that we have built since the first day of school shutdowns. And it is always, always my pleasure to be here with you guys. If you noticed in the beginning, before we got started, there was a flyer there, and one of our former Virtual Village 2020 influencers, as well as our current broadcast tech, is going to be interviewing his professor on Thursday. Now, he is a freshman at Howard, and his professor is a Howard alumna, and this one is going to be great. So it is Jaimir, and he is quarterbacking this show, and it is going to be great. They are going to be talking about culture. What is culture? Why is it important? And culture, Black culture, all throughout the diaspora, the similarities, the differences. And, you know, we'll have our signature story time in there, and we are relating this to literacy. But see, we work hard to bring you this good family programming, and we work hard to make sure that our youth are engaged and that their talents are well utilized and seen and appreciated. So you guys make a note of that. That is this Thursday at 7 p.m. So you get an extra day of the Virtual Village. All right. I always say y'all got me working day and night. Okay. But anyway, we have a wonderful night in store for you all. And I am excited because, you know, we are bringing you those pieces that you are accustomed to, but they switch it up a little bit. We switch it up a little bit every day, and then we have our wonderful teacher coming on this evening in story time. Y'all know the drill. It's real around here. It's excellent, it's fun, it's educational, it's all those things wrapped up in one. Now, I gotta acknowledge the fam we have here. We have Miss Amanda. This is one of our Mighty Monroe teachers. She is saying good evening. Welcome to you, sis. I'm so glad that you are joining us. Great to see you here. And then Miss Keisha is giving us the rundown on Miss Shania. She has class and rehearsal. I saw her working it on the runway. She is a young girl of many, many talents, and we are so extremely proud of her. So look, with that said, you guys, I know y'all want to get on with this show. Y'all are ready to get hyped and feel good about yourselves, right? And you're ready to learn these moments in history and all these wonderful things that we have going on. So I'm going to step away and let y'all get the things that you really want.
Greetings, Virtual Villagers. My name is Shania, and do you know what time it is? It's affirmation time! Time to remind ourselves how great we are. So everybody, repeat after me. I am smart. I have purpose. I am confident. I am valuable. My voice is worthy of being heard. I am an asset to my family, school, and community. I respect myself and I respect others. I am beautifully made inside and out. I love my beautiful hair and I love my beautiful brown skin. I am more than enough. Great job, virtual villagers. Can I get a virtual high five? Great job. And always remember how fantastic you are.
Greetings, virtual villagers. I'm Makai, and today's quote is by Ralph Ellison. When I discovered who I am, I will be free.
This episode of the Virtual Village Show has been brought to you by Truist.
Good morning, students!
Professor Ramona and I are going to be working on fractions today.
Encuentra el país.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him.
Excuse me.
Ay, de nuevo.
Teachers are doing whatever it takes to connect with their students.
202.
And Cox is too, by connecting over 140,000 eligible students in need with low-cost internet.
Who wants to see it again?
With the Connect to Compete program from Cox.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be difficult. At the James Allen Group, we work tirelessly to get families into homes and to get our listings sold quickly at the best price. James Allen, our principal broker, has over 30 years of experience as a realtor. As a U.S. Navy veteran, his knowledge of Hampton Roads and its community is a vital tool in meeting the home buying needs of military families. If you're ready to buy or sell your home, contact the James Allen Group at 757-449-8322. Sign up today for our free home buyer or seller seminar at jamesallengroup.com.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, Clever Communities in Action and our community partners have taken action to motivate and inspire children and families online. From reading culturally affirming literature, teaching foundational literacy lessons, and creating jobs for youth, our virtual village continues to grow. To be part of our virtual village, donate or learn how we are keeping literacy alive, visit clevercommunities.org.
Hey y'all, hey, I'm back, and can I get a virtual high five? Doesn't Shania set the show off every time? And we got one of our teachers here. Miss Tyra is here. Good evening, Miss Anderson. How are you doing? Thank you for the warm greeting. So glad to have all of our visitors, our villagers in tune right now. Again, Shania always sets the tone, gets us amped and feeling good. And then Makai comes with that quote, and he says, when I discover who I am, then I will be free. So I hope you all are working on self-discovery and getting free. Self-discovery as an individual and collective discovery as the wonderful, brilliant, powerful community that we are, right? So there's a lot of discovery that is about to go on this evening. And I'm so excited that you guys are going on this adventure with us, all right? Because we know that literacy is a tool of liberation, all right? And again, we are working on that freedom. We want our children to have access to that freedom. And even any of our oldest villagers amongst us, whatever age, anybody who needs to get free, we are here to provide that. So I am excited because we are about to go into our lesson this evening, our literacy, our foundational literacy lesson. And we know that literacy is what? The foundation of learning, right? It is the connector. It is the building block. It is the foundation. So our educator this night, our teacher, is someone we are excited when he comes through and makes these virtual village appearances. It is wonderful, and everybody tunes in for this. So you guys, let's welcome the dynamic Mr. Christopher Bracey. Bracey, how are you doing? Uh-oh, we can't hear him. We got to get that, let's get that volume right on him, y'all. We got to make sure that we can hear what Mr. Bracey has to say. He is
There we go.
There we go.
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I am doing well. So glad to have you here. How has your day been going so far?
Had a good day today. Getting a chance to get into the library today. We had new books to come in. Yes. Great times. Anytime we can buy books.
Ooh,
and get them in the hand.
I can definitely relate to that. You know, we had our book delivery on last Wednesday. So we were at James Monroe, and it went very, very well. We had a lot of books that we were able to give to our Mighty Monroe scholars. And we were able to add some new books to the collection this time. And I was really, really excited about those. You know, we pick them out very carefully, strategically. So I understand your feeling when we can purchase those books and put them in the hands of our children. There's no other feeling like that. Yes, yes. So
as I watched that video, Dr. James, I know that she was honored to have you come out and share those books with her children.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. She was great. The entire staff was great. And the teachers, she and the teachers were just as excited about the books. And I get it. Like all of us adults, we were fawning all over them and the children were excited. So it was just great. And some of the teachers were able to get some to put to use in their class time. So it was just an all around win for the community. And I appreciate the fact that COVID cannot stop us from making sure that our children have access to these books. It was a great collaboration between Clever Communities and Mighty Monroe. So we're looking forward to replicating this again with a few more schools before this thing is said and done. So we are excited about that. Look, Bracey, Brother Bracey, Mr. Bracey, listen, it's always a pleasure to have you here for a multitude of reasons. But on last Tuesday, when we do our community connection, we had Mr. Jermaine Hundley, a friend of mine who is a teacher, a longtime teacher, still a young brother, but he's been teaching for a while in Atlanta, Georgia. And we talked with him about the experiences of being a Black male teacher, that unicorn experience, how great it is, why it's so rare, what we can do to change that. So many wonderful things. And you, my brother, are another one of the unicorns, but I think you become like a two-horned unicorn, right? Because you tell us a little bit for the people who don't know, why are you now the rarest of the rare of unicorns?
Black male librarians, media specialists are very rare, not only in my district, but across the state. I'm sure that it's the same way across the nation.
I never had one. And it is so important, it's invaluable, because I can just think about how you are able to motivate children in ways in which they have not experienced before. None of my librarians were memorable, actually. Unfortunately, I cannot think of any of, yikes, I can't think of their names, but I know that the children are not going to leave SeaTac Elementary School without remembering Mr. Bracey. And there's a lot of power in that. What you say?
I said, I hope not.
Oh, you already know. Go ahead and play modest. You already know wherever you go, the babies love Mr. Bracey. So we are excited. And then you were in my old stomping grounds too. So that is wonderful. That is definitely wonderful to have you there. We can chop it up a little bit after the lesson, a little more about this, because again, when unicorns pop up, you got to talk to them. Okay. So listen, you guys, Mr. Bracey is about to offer his foundational literacy lesson in the way that only he can. So I am going to step away and let him. Oh, wait a minute. We got some family in here. Before we do that, we need to acknowledge family. So we have Miss Jo Angela. Haven't seen you in a while. So glad to have you here. She says, hello, family. And then we got the head of J. Cox Elementary right here. She says, hello, fam. So glad to see you. Always glad. Huh?
To Miss Litchmore.
Yes. So glad to have her here. Look, J. Cox is deep in the building all the time. And then we have this lovely greeting from Sister Letitia, always giving us that positive energy. We love it. Great evening to you too, sis. So listen, now I'm going to step away, but I had to acknowledge the fam first. All right, Mr. Bracey, it's on you.
All righty. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be back on this learning adventure with the virtual villagers. Today, we're going to be going over our ABCs. We're going to practice writing the letter D. We're going to identify the number of syllables in words. And after that, we will read a story and discuss story elements. So boys and girls, if you're ready, it's alphabet singing time. I want you to get your finger ready so that we can point and sing our alphabet. Are you ready? Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Oh, y'all did an amazing job. Every week when I look at you and listen to you singing that song, you get better and better. Can't be any prouder of you than that. Y'all are experts. Now we're going to go back, and I want you to point to each letter again, and we're going to say the sound for each letter and the word that goes along with it. So for example, I'm going to say A says a and apple. Let me hear you say it. A says a and apple. Okay, so do you understand? Let's try it. A says a and apple. B says b and boat. C says k and cake. D says d and dog. E says and elephant. F says f and fox. G says g and gate. H says h and hand. I says I and insect. J says j and jump. K says k and kite. L says l and ladder. M says and milk. N says and nut. O says and octopus. P says p and pop. Q says qu and queen. R says and rabbit. S says s and sun. T says t and top. U says and umbrella. V says v and van. W says w and window. X says x like in the end of box. Y says y and yard. And Z says z and zebra. You did a fantastic job. Let's try one more time. A says a and apple. B says b and boat. C says k and cake. D says d and dog. E says and elephant. F says f and fox. G says g and gate. H says h and hand. I says I and insect. J says j and jump. K says k and kite. L says l and ladder. M says and milk. L says and nut. O says and octopus. P says p and pop. Q says qu and queen. R says r and rabbit. S says s and sun. T says t and top. U says and umbrella. V says v and van. W says w and window. X says x and the end of box. Y says y and yard. And Z says z and zebra. All right, great job. Next, we're going to practice writing a few letters. Go ahead and grab your paper and pencil and get ready to practice writing the letter D. Remember, D says the sound D. And so as you're writing it, I want you to practice saying the sound. When we write the letter D, we're going to go down. We're going to pick our pencil up, go back to the top, and go around. Can you see that? There we go. Again, we're going to start at the top and draw a straight line down. And then we're going to start at the top and make a line going around. just like that. And D says D. Again, we're going to start at the top and draw a line going down. And we're going to draw a line, a curved line going around. D says D. Remember that. Make sure to practice saying your sound as you're writing. And the last time, we're going to draw our line going down and then our line going around. There we go. D says D. Now we're going to practice writing our lowercase d. Capital D is done. Now our lowercase d. For our lowercase d, we're going to make a circle and go up. Come back down. Can you see that? We're going to go around, up, and down. Do you remember what sound D makes? D. That's correct. Let's try it again. We're going to go around, up, and down. And then one more time. Draw a circle going around, go up, and straight back down. And remember, D says D. Great job. Keep practicing writing your letters. The more you do it, the better they'll become. All right, so now we're going to get ready for clapping syllables. Let's get our hands ready. Let's warm them up. Let's practice clapping a couple of times. Okay, can you clap like me? Let's see. Let me hear you do it. All right, one more time. I think you're ready. I think your hands are nice and warm and ready to start clapping out syllables. Boys and girls, words can be broken down into smaller parts called syllables. We clap while we say a word to hear the syllables. Like this word, frog. We only clapped one time, so there's one syllable. Let's try another word, wipe. Wipe. Again, we clapped one time, we have one syllable. Try this one. Dog. Dog. How many times did we clap? That's right, one time, so we have one syllable. What about this one? Table. Table. How many syllables does table have? Fantastic, you're right. It has two syllables. We clapped two times. Next word. The next word is lamp. Try it again. Lamp. How many syllables? That's right, one syllable. Next word is pencil, like we write with. Pencil. Let's try. Pencil. Let's try it one more time. Pencil. How many syllables does pencil have? You got it. Two syllables. Excellent. Now the last word. Let's see how you do with this one. The last word is blanket. Now you try it. Blanket. Blanket. How many syllables does it have? Two syllables. Oh man, that wasn't hard for you at all. Y'all have become pros at counting syllables. All right, now You have done the hardest part. The next part is story time. But before we get to our story, I want to ask you, can anybody tell me what story elements are? See, I have this book here, Jabari Jumps. And as I'm reading it, I want you to be able to identify the story elements. And the story elements are characters, settings, problems, and solutions. If you don't know what those are, let me help you. Characters are the people and sometimes animals that are in a story. The setting is where and when the story takes place. The problem often comes in the middle, and it is what the characters want to do or what they want to happen by the end of the story. And the solution is what happened at the end of the story to tell how the characters solved their problem. So again, the solution is what happened at the end of the story that tells us how the characters solved their problem. Okay, so those are the things that we're going to be looking for: our characters, our setting, the problem, and the solution when we come back and read the story.
All right, so that lesson was excellent. It was funny. I was back here doing a soul clap when you were telling the children to get their hands ready. I'm like, yeah, my hands are warmed up. That was wonderful. I enjoy seeing all of our wonderful virtual village teachers and the different styles and just the little techniques that you guys have. It is always my pleasure to witness that. And then, like I said, you a double horned unicorn. So I'm all into this. I am all into this. And I've known you for quite a while, Chris, but I have not had the pleasure of seeing you fully in action in the classroom. So this is always a pleasure to see that. And we got some wonderful comments from the family here as well. So let's see what they had to say. So we got Miss Lucy letting you know, in case you didn't know who she is. But we know who you are, sis, and we're glad that you're here. And then Portia says, awesome. Thank you, Mr. Bracey. In phonics, we definitely find our foundation for reading. Okay. I hope you got Braylon tuned in right now. I hope you guys are pulled up together with this one. Okay. And Peyton too. All right. This is family time. And then next we have, let's see, Miss Tiffany. She is letting us know that she is here. She is in the building. Somebody got a new profile picture and is looking fly as ever. Glad to see you, sis. And she is wishing us a happy Monday. Yay.
Happy Monday to you too.
Yes, we appreciate that. And then Portia says her son was writing right along with you. Oh, that is what it's all about. That is what this is all about, that family engagement. Hi, Braylon. Look, you got to send us a picture of your writing, okay? We are so proud of you, Braylon. You keep up the good work, okay? We love you. We love our virtual village babies, our little scholars. Know that your virtual village family loves you and is cheering you on. Yes, and great job to mom as well. And Miss Tiffany is sending us some claps and some laughs and some love, right? All that positive energy. So look, we are going to have a brief word from our sponsors. And when we come back, Mr. Bracey is going to read that book and then I'll chop it up with him a little bit more. And then we got some other wonderful things in store. So don't y'all go anywhere.
Smart kids make our world better. At Heavenly Hearts, we believe that the right foundation is key to our future leader success. With our 4 key learning principles, which are inclusive learning environment, early exposure to financial literacy, community engagement, science and technology with engineering, art, and math labs will enrich each one of our future leaders as well as the community they are part of. In these unprecedented times, the $59 billion childcare industry has been dramatically impacted by the pandemic. Heavenly Hearts has currently implemented several advanced health and safety precautions to protect our children and staff at our current licensed facility in Chesapeake, Virginia. Our new location will continue to use advanced technology to protect our children from this and future threats to their health and safety, as our mission is to educate, empower, and equip our students with the necessary foundation to be holistically successful throughout life. We invite you to get involved. As an investor or community partner, you can help in a variety of ways. Contact Serena May at 757-254-8156. This episode of the Virtual Village Show has been brought to you by Truist.
All right. Remember, the title of our story is Jabari Jumps. This is the front cover. The author is Gaia Cornwall. This is the spine of the book. And this is the back cover of the book. The front cover has a little boy standing at the edge of the diving board. And the back cover has a little boy with his father and sister walking down the street. It says, working up the courage to take a big leap is hard, but Jabari is nearly almost ready to make a great big splash. I'm jumping off the diving board today, Jabari told his dad. Really? His dad said. The diving board was high and maybe a little scary, but Jabari had finished his swimming lessons and had passed his swim test, and now he was ready to jump. I'm a great jumper, said Jabari, so I'm not scared at all. Jabari watched the other kids climb the long ladder. They walked all the way out to the end of the board, as big as tiny bugs. Then they stood on the edge. They spread their arms and bent their knees and sprang up, 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 and then dove down, down, down. Splash. It looks easy, said Jabari. But when his dad squeezed his hand, Jabari squeezed back. He said it looked easy, but it doesn't seem like he wants to let his dad's hand go. Jabari stood at the bottom of the ladder and he looked up. You can go before me if you want, he told the kid behind him. I need to think about what kind of special jump I'm going to do. Jabari thought and thought. So there he's looking up at the ladder. And then here he's letting children go by him one by one to go up the ladder. And then there's nobody left, just Jabari. And he's getting further and further away from that ladder. Jabari started to climb up and up. This ladder is very tall, he thought. Are you okay? His dad called. I'm just a little tired, Jabari said. Maybe you should climb down and take a tiny rest, said his dad. A tiny rest sounded like a good idea to Jabari. And so he's climbing back down. When he got to the bottom, Jabari remembered something. Oh, I forgot to do my stretches, he said to his dad. Stretching is very important, said his dad. I think tomorrow might be a better day for jumping, Jabari said. They looked up at the diving board together. It's okay to feel a little scared, said his dad. Sometimes, if I feel a little scared, I take a deep breath and tell myself I'm ready. And you know what? Sometimes I stop feeling scared and feel a little like I was surprised. Jabari loved surprises. Jabari took a deep breath and felt if and felt it fill his whole body from the ends of his hair right down to the tips of his toes. Jabari looked up and began to climb, up and up and up and up until he got to the top. Jabari stood up straight. He walked all the way out to the end of the board. Will he jump this time or will he climb back down? His toes curled around the rough edge. He's up there, he's on the diving board and he's looking down. Looks like he's very far up. And if you look down here, you can see his father and his sister in the swimming pool. Jabari looked out as far as he could see. He felt like he was ready. I love surprises, he whispered to himself. And he took a deep breath and spread his arms and bent his knees. Then he sprang up off the board, flying. Jabari hit the water with a big splash. See him holding his nose so that the water won't get in his nose. Down, down, down he went. And then back up. Whoosh. Jabari, you did it, said his dad. I did it, said Jabari. I'm a great jumper. And you know what, Dad? What, said his dad. Surprise double back flip is next. So he's going back up to do a double back flip. Now let's see if we can figure out our story elements. Who were the main characters in the story? We had Jabari. We had his father. We had his sister. Now the story is mostly about Jabari, but his father and sister were also characters in the story. Where did it take place? Where were they? Do you remember where the diving board was? It was at the pool. You're absolutely correct. And what was Jabari's problem? What was Jabari's problem? What did he want to do, but he hadn't done yet? If you said jumping off the diving board, you're absolutely correct. How did he solve his problem? Do you remember what his dad told him to do? He took a deep breath and let out all the fear and started to feel surprised. And he was excited about his surprise. And so how did he solve his problem? He took his deep breath, he climbed the ladder, walked all the way out to the edge, and dove in. Boys and girls, you did an excellent job of listening to that story and helping me identify the story elements. I want you to do that the next time you read a story as well. Look for the characters, look for the problem, look for the solution, and look for the setting.
Excellent job. That was an excellent job. Everybody, let's give Mr. Bracey a hand on that foundational literacy lesson, as well as the story. Now, I know you were looking forward to reading Jabari Jumps, and I see why now. Jabari is like metaphor for life. There's so much power in that story. So why were you excited about Jabari Jumps?
I love that story. And the boys and girls at school, when we read the story and we talk about it, they talk about all the fears that they've had and how they've overcome the fears that they've had. And just like you said, it's a metaphor for life. It gives the students an opportunity to even see another way that they might want to, tackle their fears. And so it's a positive book. I really enjoy that book.
It definitely is. And then in addition to that, the imagery, I just love the imagery in there. So Jabari Jumps is a win. And listen, you guys, we give you all a book recommendation, but also the books that our Virtual Village teachers read. These are all books that we're putting out here for you guys to add to the home libraries of the little ones in your lives. So Jabari Jumps is another one in the archives, okay? So definitely make sure that you guys put that on the list, because we know that these books are great for birthdays. We have Christmas and Kwanzaa coming up, and they're also wonderful just because anytime, all right, to add those. So, back to talking about you as the teacher and the double-horned unicorn. Can you share with our village family again why these foundational literacy lessons and these nuggets, the way that we are providing them, these little small bite-sized bits, why is this important? Why is this beneficial?
Well, it's beneficial for two reasons. One is, just like the quote said, that when you find yourself, you find freedom. Being able to read is also freedom. It gives you an opportunity to explore and go different places when you might not be able to physically go there. It gives you the opportunity to learn new words, to be able to visualize mentally. And so educationally, reading is important, but then also socially reading is important. Because the more that we read, the more words we know, the better we can socialize and communicate with each other. And it just all goes together.
And why is it important to you, all of this imagery here, all this positive cultural representation? Look, anybody is welcome here, but this is a black, brown, whatever you want to call it, production. It's a melanated production that's going on here. That's what this imagery is. This is what it's catered towards. These challenges, these triumphs that we know that beautiful brown children face. That's what it's all about here. And we know that these things are real. So what is the value in that from your perspective as an educator?
Imagery means a lot. Being a classroom teacher, there were times where children were confused, parents were confused. They bring their child to class for the first day of school and there's a black man at the door. And later on, as they felt more comfortable, a lot of times parents even expressed that they had never had a black male teacher. The students, sometimes they're so used to having their teacher be a woman that they don't know how to adjust at first. It's just an oddity sometimes. But then once they see it, the number of boys who have told me that I think I want to be a teacher. It's like, oh, okay, cool. That I feel like I played my part, and branching their minds out and showing them another avenue that they can go in. And even as a librarian, when I came over to CTAC, it was, you're the librarian. It's like, yes, I'm the librarian. And again, they had never seen it before. I had never seen it before. Only one other person that I knew that was a black male librarian. And until I saw him, I was just like, had never thought about it. Love books, love reading, love sharing information, but had never thought about it because I had never seen it before.
Wow, that's powerful. So being able to see yourself represented in literature, in places and spaces in which we as adults and children have not seen before, it is the gateway. It is, if we have not seen it a lot of times, then we just don't even understand that it's a possibility. So, there you go with that positive impact as the double-horned unicorn.
And that you brought books over to CTAC, and some of those books were just on the shelves. And so coming in, putting those books on display, teachers didn't know those books were there. Some of them said, I didn't know we had this book. And not only is it culturally relevant, it is educationally relevant. They're going over some of this stuff in their classrooms. There are objectives to go along with it, and they didn't know that those books existed. And then the students being able to see characters that look like them, and they're going right to those books. Putting those books on display meant a lot to the students, not only our Black students, but there were Hispanic students and students that spoke Spanish that had we had Spanish speaking books. We had Spanish books there in the library. And so putting them on the forefront. Hey, these books have characters that look like you. They speak your language. And it drives them to be more literate and to read more.
Exactly. Everybody wants to feel represented, and we gravitate towards things that we like, things that we understand, and especially in the foundation of learning. So our children making sure that they feel, and it makes you feel a part of the world, a part of the society, the place in which you live. If you're always left out, then it sends a message when you don't see yourself there. And when people are trying to put things onto you that are not things that you relate to. And, we delivered those 100 books in 2014. So having the right people in the places and spaces, because sometimes it being there, clearly by what you said, is not enough. It has to be someone there who is in charge, who understands the value of it. So we appreciate you being there and making sure that the children and the teachers are aware of it. And that was the same year that we also did the book donation to Jay Cox. So, everything comes full circle. So again, Mr. Bracey, thank you so much for coming up here and
thank you for inviting me.
Time. always, and your expertise. Was there anything that you wanted to share with the Virtual Village family before you get out of here?
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you. We look forward to having you back. You have a wonderful evening, and family, don't you guys go anywhere, because we have some wonderful, wonderful things in store for you next.
Greetings, virtual villagers. I am Jamir. I'm here to bring you today's moment in history. Septima Clark is known as the mother of the civil rights movement. She earned a bachelor's degree from Benedict College in 1942 and a master's degree from Hampton Institute in 1946. She taught young students and held informal literacy classes for adults. She also pushed an education and equal rights agenda in numerous organizations, such as the Young Women's Christian Association, YWCA, the Federation of Women's Clubs, Council of Negro Women, and the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP. In 1956, when South Carolina banned membership in the NAACP, Clark lost her teaching job and pension when she refused to comply. Clark and her cousin, Bernice Robinson, created the first citizenship school to educate Black people in literacy, state government, and election procedures. Traveling throughout the South, Clark trained teachers for citizenship schools and assisted in SCLC marches and protests, working with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King acknowledged Clark when he received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 by insisting that she accompany him to Sweden. After retiring in 1970, Clark continued to fight inequality and serve her community. In 1976, she won the back pay and pension that was denied to her when she was fired from her South Carolina teaching job for being a member of the NAACP. She served on the Charleston County School Board from 1975 to 1978 when she was nearly 80 years old. She also wrote 2 autobiographies outlining her philosophy, Echo in My Soul in 1962 and Ready from Within 1986.
Greetings, virtual villagers. I'm Asia, and I'm back with our book recommendation of the day. Jamir told you a little something about the ever-impactful Miss Septima Clark. If you're interested in inspirational excerpts written by a variety of Black authors on how children can overcome and impact racism, We Rise, We Resist, We Raise Our Voices by Wade Hudson is a must-read. You can purchase this book at your local Black-owned bookstore or visit smile.amazon.com and add Clever Communities in Action as your charity, and Amazon will donate a percentage of the price of your purchases at no cost to you.
All right, family. So it's been a wonderful evening. We started out with that energy from Shania, that powerful quote from Makai, and then Brother Bracey, Mr. Bracey came through and blessed us with the foundational literacy lesson and the story Jabari jumps. And then our young people again rounded off with Jamir with that moments in history. If you are not familiar with the ancestors, Sister Septima Clark, then you need to look her up. You need to look her up. And you guys, we post the moment in history the next day. So the one from today will be posted separately on Clever Communities in Action's Facebook page. So you can go and find that and share that with the little ones in your life or in any group, because it is there for any and everybody of all ages. But that's something for you to dive into and learn about further. And then the book that Asia recommended, We Rise, We Resist. I picked that one up and it's a fairly new one. And there were some excerpts in there that really caught me off guard. They were strong. The content was strong with what they were talking about and poetic. And one actually kind of brought me a little bit to tears, a story that was being expressed in there. So definitely make sure you guys check that out. And Ray is here saying, awesome moment in history. So glad that you enjoyed it. And Miss Tiffany says, bring it, Jamir, as he always does. And then we had a comment from Miss Nicole, and she said, great story with a great message, wonderful lesson. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Oh, and Miss Amanda says, awesome. Yes, and you are awesome as well, sis. All of our virtual villagers are awesome. And again, I look forward to convening with you all every night. I hope you understand that this is your family. This is a safe space for us to come and convene together to learn, to discuss, to affirm one another. Tomorrow, if you guys are not familiar with it yet, tomorrow is Community Connection Night. So Mr. Rodney Jordan will be joining me again, and we'll be co-hosting, and we will have our community connector there. So that means we'll have a village reader, and then we will have someone from our village who, someone who is going to talk to us about what it is that they do in regards to our community. And I'll give you a sneak peek since you're tuned in tonight. Tomorrow, our community connector is going to be a children's comic book writer. All right. And you know that if it's here with Clever Communities, then it's got beautiful brown faces on there. And boy, this sister is also an attorney, but she writes comic books as well. So we will be talking to her about her experiences, about, I just can't give it all away. So just make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. It's going to be great. And then just to reiterate what we discussed in the beginning, on Thursday, our very own Jamir will be interviewing his professor. You guys, he is a freshman at Howard, and he is going to be interviewing his professor as she presents to us a lecture on what is culture and culture around the diaspora. And she's also throwing the literacy lesson and the story time in there. So it's going to be great. We're working hard to bring this family programming to you. We hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys click the share button and tell somebody who knows somebody about this programming, okay? And make sure that you look out for our commercial on Cox and let us know if you see it. So I am out of here, you guys. My stomach is a rumbling, so I'm going to grab me a little late night bite to eat. So you guys be well, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Look, mommy, community in action. But oh my, let us sound that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. But oh my, let us sound that. Creative, affirming, and culture for me too. Look, granny, and let us sound that. Look, granny, and let us sound that. Look, granny, and let us sound that. Learning and exploring about history, you see. Look, mommy, and let us sound that. We confident, we practice, and develop fluency. Look, daddy, and let us sound that. Families, they bond and they representing me. Look, granny, and let us sound that. Look, I'm here, let us sound that. Nice, I see, let us sound that.
So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have to sit.
Look, mommy, community in action. Well, oh my, let us sound that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, oh my, let us sound that. Creative, affirming, culture for me too. Look, granny, let us sound that.